All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, as always, Mike, and today we're going to be breaking down PFL Challenger Series 9. So I'm taping this right now live on Saturday, and turns out the fights start now and not at 6. So going to be pretty quick here. Honestly, I was going to be quick here either way. There's only 4 fights, and there's not much to talk about in a lot of them. So we're going to go through this fairly quickly. I'm just going to quickly pull up a few things for myself. All right. And we can hop right into it so I can go watch UFC. So for this first fight, we've got Mostafa Rashed Neda versus Nick Ali. Neda is 7-3-0. Don't have his age. He's don't have his height or his reach, and he's training out of MMA Jeddah Club as far as I can tell. And then on the other side, I'm just checking with Neda if I got his height. No, but he hasn't fought since 2019. That is important. On the other side, we've got Nick Ali, 7-5-0. He's 32 years old, 6 feet tall. I do believe he's going to be taller here. I think based off his opponents, I think Neda's like 5'10, 5'11. And Nick Ali is training out of Tokyo Joe's Studios and Team Link Hookset. So for this one, I don't suggest putting your money on it. It's very low level. Neda hasn't fought since 2019. His striking is actually kind of good. I like it. He hits very hard. He's one of these big power punchers, good forward pressure. Don't love that he has his hands down, and his takedown defense is abysmal. Ali, on the other side, he's not the best guy. In his last fight, he literally got knocked out by someone who's 1-2-0, and watch the fight. It was atrocious. And then he does have a decent win over Gotti III. I just don't like him much either. His striking is decent, good one too. He's solid in the clinch. 5 knockout wins. 5 knockout losses. All of his losses by knockout, which kind of makes me think Neda might find that chin. 5 submission wins himself. His grappling's all right. I like his back takes sometimes, not always. He's a good hammer, but a garbage nail. So it's going to be a pass for me because Neda hasn't fought since 2019. But the pick is probably going to be Ali, I guess. I just think that he's been more active. He's fought the better people, and I think he'll have a grappling edge here. But I do think it's entirely possible he also just gets knocked out. So the pick is Ali, but I think that fight is a good fight to fade, and we're going to move right along. All right, so this one's pretty cool, just for one reason only. Ottoni is actually the only guy to beat Alex Pereira in MMA. So we're going to go over this fun. All right, here we've got Quemuel Ottoni versus Jozef Wittner. Ottoni, he's 12-3-0, 30 years old. He's 6 feet tall, and let me check if I have something for him. Yeah, for his camp, I have Rivera Black Team. For Wittner, he's 16-2-0, 29 years old. He's 6 feet tall as well, 1 year younger, and I've got him training out of Zhao MMA. So this is probably one of the closer fights on the card. Wittner is pretty good. He's fought the slightly better competition, in my opinion. He's a grappler first. He's got good wrestling, 8 submission wins, but the last one was in 2017. So not sure how much you can take from that. His striking, I don't love. The output is pretty low. He's always backing up. He's got a good jab. The kicks are decent, and the combos are pretty good when he's using them. But for the most part, I don't love his striking, but he is a good wrestler. Ottoni on the other side, this is the guy who beat Alex Pereira. Now, if you watch that fight, it was a minute ago. He was losing some of the grappling to Alex. Like, they were going back and forth, and it wasn't just complete and utter grappling domination coming from Ottoni. So, but that was also really long ago. That was like 2016, I believe. So, can't really take much from that. Since then, I haven't seen his grappling really tested all that much, especially in his most recent fight. But he's good. I like his jab. I like the combos. He mixes targets. Good front kick to the body. The output is good. There's a lot of big swinging strikes, which I don't love, but he hits super hard. He's got 7 knockout wins. Wittner has been knocked out twice. So I kind of lean Ottoni. Another fun fact about Ottoni, he has a win over Marcus Perez, not in MMA, not in any combat sport other than professional pillow fighting. incredible. I actually watched it. It was pretty funny. So I think that Ottoni's probably going to win this fight. I like his forward pressure. I like his striking. I think he's going to be bigger here, even though we're missing those numbers. He was very close in size to Alex Pereira, whereas Wittner was close in size to smaller opponents. But I do think it's possible that Wittner comes out here and just out grapples Ottoni and out wrestles him. It's just I don't have enough info on the Ottoni takedown defense. So I'm leaning Ottoni. That's the pick. Whether I play him is going to really depend on the odds, but I don't think I'm going to get to a play. And we're going to move along. Here, I'm hoping to have a play. It's just going to come down to the odds. So for this fight, we've got Eric Alequin versus Thad Jean. Alequin, he's 7-0, undefeated as a pro, 32 years old. He's 5'11", and he's training out of Sanford MMA. Thad Jean on the other side, he's 4-0, undefeated as a pro, 24 years old, so he's 8 years younger, 6'2", so he's going to be 3 inches taller, and he's got a 77-inch reach. I don't have the reach for Alequin, but I don't think it's going to be close. I'm pretty sure that is quite big for the weight class, and 77-inch reach, that's a lot. So this one is, it's fairly close in terms of how good these guys are, I guess. But Alequin, he's not been fighting the best competition. Neither has Thad, but I like Thad Jean's competition a bit better. Alequin, BJJ black belt. His grappling is good. He's got a nice back take. He can do it standing. His wrestling is decent, but I don't think it's that high level. And Thad Jean has a win over Sarek Shields, who I love because he's got that dog in him and he wrestles well. And Thad Jean defended really well there. And when he did get taken down, he scrambled really well. And he also got his own takedown. So I really like Thad Jean for the counter grappling, right? I think he can handle it. And then the striking, it's not even close. I mean, Thad Jean is a beast on the feet. He hits really hard. 2 knockout wins. Everything he throws is clean, straight down the pipe, good combos, great output. I love his striking. I think Thad Jean is going to be able to keep this fight on the feet. I think he's going to find that chin. I think he's going to knock out Eric Alequin, and I think he's probably going to get himself a contract. So the pick is Thad, and we're going to move on to our final fight for this card, and then we're going to go watch some UFC. So for this fight here, we've got Lucas Barbosa versus Itso Babulaidze. Barbosa is 2-1-0. He's 30 years old, 5'10", and he's training out of Atos, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Itso, he's 2-0, undefeated as a pro. He's 29 years old, so he's going to be 1 year younger. 6 feet tall, he's 2 inches taller, and he's got a 73-inch reach. As for his camp, I honestly couldn't figure it out, so sorry about that one. But, this is hard. This is a hard fight to predict, and, you can't really bet it because Barbosa has 3 fights in MMA and hasn't fought since 2012, but he's one of the best BJJ guys around. I mean, this is from the internet, so I'm not going to pretend here I know all this by heart, right? I had to look these things up. But first place at IBJJF's Worlds and first place at Abu Dhabi World Pros. He's won IBJJF, GI Worlds, No GI Worlds, Pans Europeans, American Nationals, and placed 3rd at the 2019 ADCC. He's got a win over Burns in BJJ in 2021. So he's nasty. And you watch his clips, you can find a lot of his BJJ matches on YouTube. He's very strong. He's a very good grappler. He's really good. And it's entirely possible that he submits Itso. In fact, I think if we hit the ground, it's over. I think the ground is going to be lava for Itso. Now, on his side, I also think he's really good. I think he's going to have a long, good career. He's already really well-rounded. He's got a few amateur wins as well. And he's got really good wrestling. He's got very solid striking. I like how he strikes. I like how he mixes targets. Everything's straight, good jab, nice combinations. His wrestling is decent, good too. Like I said, he fought in his last fight Mahmoud Fazi Sebi, who's literally an Olympian. He wrestled in the Olympics, and Itso did get taken down at first, but he popped up. And then eventually, once Sebi got tired, he got his own takedowns. Now, the defensive grappling, like I said just now, Sebi did get him down at first fairly easily. Again, Olympic wrestler. But Itso got up. I do think that Barbosa's BJJ is different than Sebi's. And I think if we do hit the ground, it's clipped for Itso. So I think he has to really keep it on the feet. My pick is probably him because he's the one who's been fighting. He's the one who's in MMA. He's the one who's got the good striking. But you can't bet this because who knows what's going to happen without seeing Barbosa in a minute. So the pick is Itso, but not going to do anything with it probably. And that's it, guys. That's 4 fights. That's PFL Challenger Series 9. And thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck with any bets you place for this one. And let's go watch some UFC 283. So peace out, guys.